So welcome everyone, those who are usually with us, and then those who listen to the recordings. And then it's so lovely to see some names and faces that I haven't had live for a while. So it's so lovely to have you with us. So welcome everyone to this very significant mindful moment on the 19th of December, 2025. I was listening to Pam Gregory, and she described these next 3 days as days of an energetic crescendo. It's a hugely powerful and profound time energetically. And she really suggests us using these 3 days to go into meditation and contemplation more frequently, being in nature, candle gazing, meditation, breath work, walking, journaling, and really being intentional about setting our frequency and vibration and heart coherence for what we're wanting to create in our lives going forward. So it's a time of being energetically rather than doing, but it's a time of setting our frequency energetically and really around planting seeds of what we want to manifest in the next 3 to 6 months. And we will already see those seeds coming to bear in the next 3 to 6 months' time. So those of you who know numerology, and I don't profess to know it, I know the absolute basics of what I've been told. But 2025 is a 9 year. 2 + 2 + 5 is 9. And 9 is all about endings. And many of us have seen this. There's been lots of endings in our lives. There's lots of passing, people, souls leaving the world, leaving the earth. Is a lot of endings. And 2026, 2 + 2 + 6 is 10. And 10 or 1 year is a time of new beginnings. So that's just in numerology. But in astrology, there's a huge time of new beginnings, of new cycles of planetary. I wouldn't even start to try and explain to you, but things that we have never in our lifetime seen before, astrologically, and won't see again, of planets shifting into other spaces. And so it's all about new beginnings, especially between now and the end of April. So nothing changes necessarily overnight, but there's a huge setting of the tone and the huge movement and change. And we're kind of starting it now. It's almost like we're setting our tuning fork now for the vibrational frequency of what we're wanting to choose for us going forward. Uh, so the things that are going on between now for the next 3 days, which make these so significant, is that firstly today, December 19th, there's something called AI Atlas, which I'll tell you a little bit more about, but it's on its closest point to the Earth today. And it's hugely significant, but I'll get to that a little bit later. Then we have the new moon in Sagittarius, which is tomorrow. And new moons are always around planting seeds. They're always around, it's actually tonight at 1 a.m., so tomorrow. And sorry, this new moon is in Sagittarius, as I mentioned, and it's also on the world axis astrologically. So this new moon has particular huge significance globally. I don't understand all of these, but it's just these things just build layers. I don't know if any of you were aware that recently on Monday night there was a Geminids meteor shower. Did any of you see it, or did any of you witness it? I'd love to know if you put it in the chat or. So Earth was passing through this comet trail, and we do it every year because of how obviously the cycle of the Earth, and we passing through the sort of tail of the trail of the comet, and the meteors are the debris left behind, but it reflects as a lot of shooting stars. And this was more visible in the northern hemisphere, because there were 120 meters an hour that were moving sort of through. But in the southern hemisphere, I don't know if any of you did any stargazing. I saw three shooting stars, and I just sat there for, like lay on our balcony for about 40 minutes, and I just saw three, which were amazing. So there's so much happening, like cosmically, and astronomically rather. And then the new moon is in Sagittarius, and Sagittarius is the horse human, which is almost we juxtapose between two worlds, and he's aiming his arrow. And as I was saying, new moons are always a time of planting seeds. Biodynamic farmers will plant at the new moon because it's a time for rootedness, of roots going down, of bedding down in the dark, of anchoring, of that sort of energy, the new moon, the dark time. And so it's always for planting seeds, also intentionally for us. And this new moon, even more so because it's with the Sagittarius, he's aiming but not shooting. So it's where we are aiming our hearts, where we are dreaming, where we are percolating, where we are setting our hearts and our vibration at this new moon in Sagittarius. The next, after that, the third event is the summer solstice, which many of us know and are familiar with. We have the summer solstice in Cape Town on Sunday, the 21st of December, and it actually extends right up to Christmas Day. And so it's a very spiritual and very holy time of the year. And the solstice for hundreds of years has always been like striking a tuning fork for the next 3 to 6 months. So astronomically, excuse me, Moses has just arrived. Moses. Yeah, okay. I can't sign.
Not for you.
Yes, it's for Nikki. So yeah, so the astronomical summer begins at the summer solstice. So it's obviously we know it's the longest day of the year, and it's actually the official start of summer. The days start to get shorter during summer, but the earth starts to heat up because of this. There's a delayed heating that happens. So temperatures continue to rise between now and March. But the days start to shorten, but it is officially the start of summer. And since ancient times, our summer solstice traditions have included gathering with family and friends to celebrate the return of light, sunlight, life, fertility, the potential of a good harvest. And the word solstice comes from the Latin word sol, which is sun, and stitium, which is still or stopped. And the ancients noticed that as summer progressed, the sun stopped moving northward in the sky and then started tracking southwards again, as the summer turned to autumn. And so this is that moment of the still in the turn, like in our breath, the in breath and the still and the out breath. So this is that still moment before the turn. And it's just we've become so dissociated and disconnected from nature. But the history is that Neolithic humans may have initially started to observe the summer solstice as a marker to figure out when to plant and to harvest crops. In ancient Egypt, the solstice corresponded always with the rise of the Nile, which would herald a good harvest as the Nile rose and the fields were flooded. In ancient China, the summer solstice was associated with yin, and that's the feminine force, which is so interesting. And the new moon is a huge feminine energy, and the solstice, it's interesting to know that even though it's the return of the light and the sun, that they associated it with the yin, which because of the earth and the femininity and the earth receiving the sun's light. So the sun is the masculine energy of giving out of light, and the earth is the feminine energy, the receiving of the light. And before Christianity, the ancient Northern and Central European pagans welcomed midsummer with bonfires. And they felt that the bonfires would even boost the sun's energy to really guarantee a very good harvest. And they believed that the bonfires were also associated with magic and would banish demons and evil spirits. And we'll talk about that a little bit more. Yeah, so according to pagan folklore, evil spirits would appear on the summer solstice. And to ward off these evil spirits, people would wear the protective garlands of herbs and flowers. And one of the most powerful of these plants was known as chase devil. And today that's called St. John's wort. And it's called St. John's wort. Well, there's a whole mixture here, but the Christians call the summer solstice St. John's Day because it commemorates John the Baptist's birthday. So there's St. John's Day and St. John's wort, but St. John's wort is used to treat depression. And it's interesting that they use St. John's wort to keep the spirits at bay. And so often depression is kind of associated with a spirit of darkness that comes over people. So it's just an interesting thing that we use St. John's wort medicinally to help treat depression and also menopausal symptoms. And that this was used in these garlands to protective garlands. And then even the orientation of some of the archaeological structures. So the view of the Sphinx, from the Sphinx, the sun sets squarely between the great pyramids of Khufu and Khafur on Egypt's Giza Plateau on the summer solstice. So there's the orientation of the Sphinx is around the setting of the sun on the summer solstice. And then obviously archaeologists have long debated the purpose of Stonehenge, but the site's aligned with the direction of the sunrise on the summer solstice. And there's a feeling, well, more than a feeling, but a lot of pagan cultures or old religions feel that the veil between the worlds is thinner on the summer solstice. And this was when they believed there could be time traveling and things like that. But as I said, we are tapping in less and less into nature traditions, these spiritual and special days. And so no wonder we're seeing a society that's built on sand. We've got nothing to ground our youth. We've got nothing that's sacred or spiritual that we're celebrating. Not nothing, but we're losing so much of this. And then the significance of today is this 3-eye atlas. And I don't know if any of you have actually heard much about 3-eye atlas. Have you? Give me a thumbs up if you have, or a nod. So a lot of the astrologers, well, all the astrologers are talking about it and can explain it much better. Someone like Michelle McClulan or Pam Gregory. But the 3-eye atlas is this interstellar visitor. They don't really know what it is. It's a being or a something. It's big. It's hugely significant, traveling at vast speed towards the Earth. And it's been watched and studied by cosmologists, astronomers, astrologers, and it's clearly been traveling for millions, if not billions of years, but it's only just entered our galaxy since July, and it's coming at great speed. It was spotted for the first time earlier this year in July by the Atlas Observatory in South America, and hence its name, the 3-eye atlas. And today is the closest flyby to Earth. So a lot of the astrologers, well, Pam Gregory, along with many of the people she's spoken to, and she's been speaking to not just astrologers, but cosmologists and scientists. So that it's hugely significant and hugely special, and we don't really understand it, but she feels that it's amplifying whatever our current emotional state is. And so all of these things layered on each other lead to this energetic crescendo. And so that's why I really want to honor and mark this with our mindful moment today. And so that we also can set our intention, set our vibration, set our energy, and we can keep returning to this and dropping into it and encouraging ourselves to really do the stuff that feeds us, that nourishes us, that builds our energetic frequency over the next few days. So thank you for joining me today to mark this and to do this with me. And so after that little introduction, I just invite you and all of us to take a deep breath in and to breathe out as if letting go, and just to say that we'll keep this to a normal sort of half-hour mindful moment. It might be go just slightly over. So this is only going to be a 12 to 15-minute meditation. So just so that you know and can relax into this if you do have time pressures. And I invite you, if you do have anything that helps to increase your vibrational energy, I've got rose essential oil, which is the highest vibration oil. It is the oil of divine love. So I'm just putting that on now. If you've got any oils like frankincense or rose, um, or if you want to light a candle or anything like that, feel free to do so. And then I invite you to either close your eyes or just drop your gaze or gaze into a candle. And then when you're ready again, just taking that deep breath in and then sighing out. And as you sigh out, just noticing energy dropping into your body. Perhaps it's been like mine is in my head, in my mind, my throat as I recount all of this. And just with each breath, feeling a settling, a weightedness into our bodies. Just as a leaf might flutter down and drift onto the surface of a pond, so our energy starts to settle into our bodies. Noticing connections of our body with the earth beneath us. Perhaps feet on the floor, seat on a cushion or chair. With each exhale, just sinking into these points of connection. Sensing into the deep rootedness of the earth. Connecting with the earth and the yin of the earth. And the receptivity of the earth to the sun and the sun's light. So adopting a posture of receptivity. So really just taking in feet on the floor, seat in the cushion or chair. Feeling into your pelvic bowl and our abdomen, where so much of our creative energy lies, our solar plexus, our reproductive organs. And just settling here for a moment and inviting a gentle softness and letting go if you notice that there's any holding on, any tightness, any discomfort, just breathing into the space, into our core. Inviting the breath in and out of this area. Inviting a softening with every inhale and exhale. And then drifting up, perhaps coming up to neck and shoulders, face and jaw. And again, just scanning gently through here, inviting just a softening and opening, adopting a posture of upright dignity that is both strong but also soft. The top of our heads pointed towards the heavens, opening to the earth, to the light of the sun and the stars, opening to the energy above us. Noticing ourselves straddled between two worlds, the earthly and the heavenly, just as the Sagittarius horseman straddles both worlds. Inviting a receptivity of the energy from both, the deep-rooted, anchored, grounded, supportive energy of the earth, and the enlightening, uplifting energy of the heavens. Allowing this light from the sun and the stars in through the top of our heads, right into our heart space. So that we can sense into this glow of light in our heart space. Breathing in and out as if breathing in through a funnel in our chest, in our heart space. That brings the air directly in as if almost fanning the fire of this glow in our heart space. And inviting a feeling of gratitude. Gratitude for this moment. Gratitude that we can be witness to these incredible events. Gratitude that we can be here together, connected virtually through space and time. Noticing how the sensation of gratitude grows this light, this warmth, this connection. For the next few moments, just breathing in and out at your own rhythm, your own pace. Continuing to connect with sensations of gratitude in your heart space. If your thoughts start to wander, which surely they will, just gently noticing where they've wandered and guiding them back to your heart space. And the coherence that lies within. Tuning our heart coherence like we might set a tuning fork. I invite you to rest your hands on your heart if it helps to anchor into this feeling. And just to notice it building, strengthening. So that this golden glow starts to ooze out from our heart space. This golden light starts to move through our blood vessels, our aorta, into our arteries, arterioles, capillaries, just slowly sensing it expanding beyond our heart space into these arteries and arterioles and capillaries right until they meet the surface of our skin. Slowly moving through our bodies. Up into our shoulders, our necks, our face. Connecting with the skin of our face, our head. Capillaries that wrap around every hair on our body. Dropping down into our abdomen, our core, our solar plexus. Into our pelvis, our pelvic bowl, pelvic floor. Down into our hips and legs, feet. So we can sense this golden glow, this coherence throughout our body, shimmering on the surface of our skin, even radiating beyond our skin. It's as if we are touching for the first time that we are light beings here on earth having a human experience, as if we're touching into our light, really sensing the light and radiance that we carry with us at all times. And setting this intention to connect with this light, with this radiance, with this glow, with this love, with this gratitude that sits inside us, and allowing it to come forth more frequently, not just over the next 3 days, but over the coming weeks and months. So we can carry this with us, nourishing not only ourselves, but those that we come into contact with. Just staying here for a few more moments, letting our breath fuel the glow. Setting the tuning fork of our heart and our body to the intention and the energy of our hearts. When you are ready, just taking a deep breath in and listening to this holy invitation written by Julia Fehrenbacher. Yes, I know. There are gifts to wrap, meals to plan, dusty corners to clean, items on the very important list still waiting to be checked off. And, as always, there is a holy invitation to stand beneath this open sky moment, to do nothing but enter all the way, no strand of you anywhere else. A holy invitation to pause all that pulls and listen to the poetry inside your pulse. I've laid out a blanket of softness. Please, won't you join me? And as always, there's an holy invitation to stand beneath this open sky moment, to do nothing but enter all the way, no strand of you anywhere else. A holy invitation to pause all that pulls and listen to the poetry inside your pulse. I've laid out a blanket of softness. Please, won't you join me? And so in this moment, we invite ourselves and each other to join together on this blanket of softness over the coming few days, to perhaps put aside all the pressing things and just to really set the intention to find times of self-nourishment, of quiet, of connection with self, of filling our tanks, of setting our energy. So I invite you to take a deep breath in and audibly sigh out, gently moving into fingers and toes, perhaps reaching up, stretching out, expanding into your space, taking up your full space in this world. And when you're ready, opening your eyes and coming back to the light, colors, room around you, taking in names and faces on the screen. Thank you all for being here with us. I wish you a very blessed few days and a blessed and holy Christmas time, family time, holiday time. And I look forward to seeing you in the new year. And thank you for being my heart community. And yeah, please feel free to unmute if you've got anything to share or put anything in the chat. Love to hear your experience if you've got anything to add to what I've said. We did also launch our spring shed. Well, it's going to be our summer shed for exactly today, next month. For those of you who feel like the holidays sometimes get a lot with all the eating and drinking and different schedules, and we get out of our routines, that energetically we're going to be resetting again in January for 10 days. And we'd love you to come and join us. It's a lovely physical, energetic reset. There's information on our Spring Shed Instagram and website. And you're welcome to ask also on any of the groups. I hope you'll join us there. Thanks, Simone. So lovely to have you back here. Thanks, Mans. Thanks, Nats.
Thanks, Nikki.
I know, Nats, you're very much with us in spirit with all the Pearsons, Teasdales here. Thanks, Ellie. Thanks, Prabhashni.
Yeah, I'm very jealous of everyone being on holiday. Not on holiday.
I'm not yet. Look at your beautiful background.
But not working, but I'm not going to the sea. So yeah.
I know. Well, you're here in our hearts. Wish you could be closer to
me
background.
Too. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Susie. Oh, thank you.
Oh, thank you, Nikki. That was beautiful.
That's so nice.
I haven't talked to him in a long time. Yeah.
It's lovely to have
Just
you
decided it sounded important, and I did listen to most of lastminute.com on my way home here, to Pam Gregory's, the link you posted to her discussion with, I don't know, but wow, awesome,
I know,
amazing.
it's quite profound. And then any of her ones, I mean, she's got so much at the moment. There's one on the new moon, there's one on the solstice, there's one on 3-eye Atlas. Well, there's just so much, but it's just...
Yeah, I'm going to go and take off a bit of time and listen to some more. The things I know about...
The whole point is around setting our coherence, and that's what she says. And so that's what we hopefully strike our tuning forks. It's so nice to have you.
Exactly. Thanks. Have a wonderful Christmas with your family.
Thank you. And
all of you.
Send
all
them
of you.
Please.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
All of those who celebrate Christmas. Merry Christmas.
Thank you so much. Thanks so much, Nikki.
Yeah, to those who celebrate. Yeah, thanks, Julie. Hope to see you.
You too.
Thanks, Nikki.
Thanks, Ruth.
Bye. Have a wonderful Christmas.
Oh, and you too, Ruth. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Yeah, bye, Nat. Thank you. Thanks, everyone. Take care. Much love.